back a little bit into you went to you went and did your degree at a Jesuit college.
I did.
And I love the story you shared. I think we need to share it with that, and it's a bit of reflection. So we are going to touch a little bit on religion, but in a kind way, because you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics at a dinner table. But if you do, it sometimes gets really fun, just to see some
Right,
people light
right.
up. Yeah.
And we're not even eating. This is a podcast, so
Yeah.
I'm fine by that.
So you went to a Jesuit college, but you weren't allowed to be on campus. Why
No.
was that? Why was that?
Well, this was an organization development master's program, so it's still in my field. And it was a funky program. I mean, funky, I mean, we would travel every couple months to somewhere else where we would spend a week. And I don't know if your listeners are familiar with something called a T group. That is, in my field, it's sort of where group dynamics and studying teams and stuff started. But what happens in a T group is you have no agenda. So you get 10 people sitting around with no agenda other than to learn about their own behavior.
Right.
So everybody becomes somebody else's mother or father, and they start like working these issues out, with somebody that has nothing to do with their mother or father. And this is all going on. We spent a week in a T group working on personal growth and development with no agenda. So when I say it's a funky program, and people were getting carried away, there was one woman, just to give you an idea, there was one woman when we were choosing which groups to go into. She had told me the prior week she could never be in my group because I was too intense.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I mean, her choice. Well, it turns out that we're in groups of 7, 7, and 8, which is the way we have to have these groups numbered. And we're done. We spent a whole day choosing these groups. And I look next to me, and who's there? This woman, Celia, who says, I'm too intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I do I blow this whole thing up and make everybody start choosing groups again? Or do I spend 2 years with Celia, who's too intense and has already told me she doesn't want to be in my group? So what do you think I did?
I have no idea.
Kaboom. I'm like, I'm not going to be in a group with Celia. I don't mind her, but she didn't want to be in my group. So off I go, which now has us at 886. And now whole thing had to get restructured. But this is the kind of program it was. So you spend an entire day choosing which of these groups you're going to be working in for 2 years. And then you end up with somebody next to you who doesn't even want to be there, and you blow it up. So when I say it was a funky program, like we weren't sitting in rows of seats taking notes. There were a bunch of really different things. We traveled to Banff. We traveled to Pajaro Dunes in Northern California. So all of this is by way of saying that the Jesuits didn't look kindly on our program. There was a lot of drinking. There were some Monty Python scenes that were replayed as part of the entertainment. So this whole Jesuit program was the best program in organization development at the time that I went to it. And we were not allowed on campus until graduation. Mm-hmm. And then they actually had a monitor with our class to watch over us as we were getting our cap and gown.
Because, and you used the phrase, you weren't allowed on campus because you weren't Jesuit enough.
Yeah, we weren't. We weren't Jesuit enough. And honestly, if I'm coming clean, I don't think we were Jesuit at all. I mean, I don't know what that means, but we were far afield of what they expected. And everybody did look a bit different when we got to graduation, come to think of it.